since the company's origins in 2004. Shining 3D has been providing integrated 3D digital solution to manufacturing, healthcare, and metrology industries. From this experience, Shining 3D has developed a seamless digital dental workflow from start to finish. The AutoScan-3 is the perfect solution for dentists looking to make the transition to digital dentistry. The elegantly intuitive design makes traditional impression techniques a thing of the past. High accuracy, fast scan speed, and a series of other features like motion sensing, oral health check report, model creating, ortho simulation accumulate into a modern, comfortable, and engaging experience for the patient, and meanwhile appeal to dentists in any specialty. The Shining 3D Cloud provides data online preview and statistics analysis, and unified communication between the dental office and the lab through real-time case tracking. Gaining full control of case design is easy with the integrated CAD softwares. ExoCAD allows users complete customization of CAD design over the full spectrum of dental appliances. Maestro 3D is the obvious choice for orthodontics planning once considering the wide range of tools and features equipped for even the most complicated cases. The AccuFab L4D printer is the ultimate blend of quality design, accuracy, size, speed, and affordability. The L4D is the perfect choice for labs and dental offices looking to get ahead of the curve. It boasts an extremely beginner-friendly user interface and an open-source format, which allows for compatibility with any resin on the market. The future of dentistry is digital.
Hi everyone, glad to see you again. Since the establishment in 2004, Shining 3D has been focusing on the research and development, manufacturing, and application of high-precision 3D digital products. The company is committed to becoming a 3D digital technology company with global influence, promoting the popularization and application of 3D digital technology, offering accessible, efficient, and high-tech solutions. For the dental industry, Shining 3D has always been innovative to keep delivering great digital solutions to customers worldwide. In 2012, Shining 3D launched its first desktop dental scanner, AutoScan-DS. After that, we have been continuously updating our software and hardware based on valuable feedback from the end users globally. Higher speed, better resolution, greater accuracy, and more user-friendly workflow. After years of dedicated work, Shining 3D has delivered more than 15,000 sets of desktop dental scanners to over 150 countries and regions worldwide, thanks to our customers and partners' sincere trust. Today, I would like to invite you to take a close look on our latest desktop dental scanner, DS-EX Pro Edge. My colleague Emily will share the details with you for the following time.
Hi everybody, I'm Em, and it's my honor to introduce the AutoScan-DS-EX Pro H. All along, we've been listening to your suggestions and requirements, and we've been hard at work constantly improving our desktop scanner line with regards to scan accuracy, speed, ease of use, and new functions. With these improvements in mind, I'm excited to present our latest desktop scanner, the AutoScan-DS-EX Pro H. It's the perfect blend of cost-effectiveness and high performance, making it the ideal choice to embrace the 5-megapixel era. Here's our intro video for a closer look. I hope you enjoyed the video of the AutoScan-DS-EX Pro H. Now I'll explain the details and features for both the hardware and the software, and I'll demonstrate some typical workflows. First, let's start with the hardware. The scanner is equipped with dual 5-megapixel high-resolution cameras, which can capture every detail of the scanned object meticulously. Its scan accuracy is less than 8 microns, guaranteeing a reliable scan result every time. By comparing the detail of the teeth data from the low-pixel scanner versus the high-pixel scanner, we can see more details are captured and reserved with the higher pixel scanner, like the veneer on the anterior teeth, this inlay on the lower jaw posterior teeth, and the scan body data here. More details of the scan data are very important for further design procedures. Besides the accuracy, the scan speed is very fast. It takes only 7 seconds for a bite scan, 14 seconds for an upper or lower jaw scan, and 66 seconds for a triple tray impression scan. Despite the fast scan speed, we have optimized the software in several ways to help you do more cases with less time. Let's check it out. First, our dental scan software is equipped with a new user interface, which is more elegant, modern, intuitive, and easy to use. I'm sure you'll love it. Second, the workflow options are more flexible. You can adjust the workflow based on your preferences. If you would like to scan the occlusion last, you can choose this option and the software will remember your selection. Next time you start a new order, the workflow will be the same as your choice last time, making the whole process more smooth and user-friendly. You can also choose all-in-one scan or multi-die scan and other selections in the workflow settings panel to reduce scan steps. Third, scanning and background data processing can be carried out simultaneously, making the whole process more efficient. In the past, every scan step, technicians were required to wait until the data processing finished before moving forward to the next scan step. This led to some waiting time during the scan process. Now, there's no need to wait anymore, with data processing being carried out in the background. When finishing the scan of the upper jaw, we can continue to scan the lower jaw and the occlusion without waiting. This shortens the whole workflow and improves efficiency. Apart from all the features above, we've also added some new applications for the AutoScan-DS-EX Pro H. In addition to implant abutment scanning, scan body scanning, articulator, triple tray, texture, full denture, and implant bridge scanning, we've added a new workflow specific to post and core scans to capture the data of the deep holes in the model. Now, I'd like to demonstrate some typical workflows of the scan process so that you can have a first-hand look of how it works. Welcome to the application portion of the webinar. So today I'm going to be covering a few different scan methods and scan workflows for the DS-EX Pro H. Welcome to the application portion of the webinar. So today I'm going to be covering a few different scan methods and scan workflows for the DS-EX Pro H. So the first one that we're going to go over is going to be an all-in-one scan. So I've got the quadrant model set up on the all-in-one plate with the die right here. So first we're going to have this set in occlusion. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select an upper prep for number 3. And then I will also select the lower antagonist. And I've got this set to 2 stone models in occlusion as the occlusion type, and it's a section scan. So I'm going to go ahead and hit scan here, and we'll get started. So first, the scan software will default to the typical upper and lower workflow with the occlusion scan. So that's typically 4 scans in total, but we're going to change this to the all-in-one scan. So this will let us capture the whole process in only 2 scans. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply, And I'm going to place the plate on the scanner. I've got the height adapter on there already. So I'm going to line up this notch at the front with the notch on the height adapter. Make sure that's nice and solid on there. And then we'll go ahead and hit Start Scan. So this is going to capture just a very quick preliminary scan of the occlusion with the two arches there. So the software is going to use this later on to align the bite together. So now I'm going to pull this off here, and I'm going to place the upper on the other part of the plate there. So now we've got both models in place with the die. So now I'm just going to put that back in the same spot on the scanner, make sure that's nice and secure. And then we'll approve the first bite scan, and then we'll hit Start to start the arch scan. So as you can see, it's captured both the upper and the lower scan data, as well as the data of the die. And that was a really quick scan. So we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of trimming here. So I'm just gonna bring this trim part right there. So anything in red will get trimmed away. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Finish. And now the software is going to automatically align all of the scan data. So it'll align the die to the upper model, and it'll align both of the arches to the occlusal bite scan. I can go ahead and remove this and set it to the side. So the software is doing the processing right now and aligning everything into one. All right. So you can see here on the screen, we've got the upper jaw data and the lower jaw data. Everything looks great and merged. So now we can go ahead and hit Next. And you can see that it's perfectly aligned the upper and lower data with the bite data. So we are all set, and that is about as quick of a scan as you get. So we just scanned full upper, lower, and die in a very short amount of time. So we can go ahead and finish that scan, and now it is ready for pre-design and for export for the STL, OBJ, or PLY file. So that's it for the all-in-one scan. Next, I'll be showing you how to scan an implant case with a scan body. So let's go ahead and get the order set up. So we're going to select tooth number 20, which is what I have my analog in right here. And I'm going to select screw retain crown. I'm also going to select to scan the gingiva separately. So we'll go ahead and turn that option on. And I don't have an opposing for this case, so we don't need to worry about selecting an antagonist. So we'll go ahead and click Finish there. And everything on the screen here looks correct, so we'll go ahead and start the scan. So I'm going to make sure this is secure onto the base of the scanner. And the software is very intuitive, so it lets me know that it wants to scan the gingiva first, which is what I have here, is the model without the scan body in place. So I'll go ahead and start that scan. So it'll capture the scan data. Having that gingiva scan is really important because it allows us to capture the emergence profile, which is very important for later on in the CAD design, to be able to accurately design a crown that will fit to the patient's gum tissue. So next we'll go ahead and insert the scan body into the implant site. So I'll just screw that in place. And I'll click Finish here on the gingiva scan, and then I'll insert the model onto the scanner here. Now, when we put the scan body in place, we want to be really careful to make sure that the model doesn't move on the plate at all. So our scan fixture is really helpful with doing that. It secures the model really nicely, so I don't have to worry about it wiggling around. But the scanner is going to be looking for that same exact spot to be able to kind of match that scan body data. So that's why it's important that it doesn't move on that plate. But we'll go ahead and we'll start the scan of the scan body. So scan bodies are typically made out of two parts. There's the upper peak part that's kind of looks like a tan plastic, and then there's the middle part that is metal. So it's okay if the scanner doesn't pick up the metal part because the tan plastic peak part of the scan body is what the CAD software is going to be looking for during the alignment. So we're all set with this scan. That looks really great. So now we'll go ahead and kind of section out the scan body. So this is going to help to have that removed and be just really easy to match up with when you get into the CAD step. So we'll go here and so first I'm going to click on tooth number 20 on the side here. And now I'm just going to make this kind of pink area around the scan body nice and close to the scan body surface. I want to get this nicely aligned here. So we'll do that now. So that looks good right there. It's going to remove the material down below there. So we want to make sure that the whole scan body is contained in that pink area. So I'll go ahead and click this button down here in the bottom to extract the scan body out of the scan. So that looks really good there. And that will be it for the implant scanning. Next, we'll be scanning a triple tray impression. So I've got the triple tray impression on the triple tray fixture jig, just like this. So the way that this jig works, you kind of clothespin the impression into the jig like so. And then when you go to flip the tray over, you can scan the opposing side by just removing it from the magnet surface here, flipping it over, and then reconnecting it to the magnet surface. So we'll start with it with the upper jaw on top. So we've got that positioned just like that. So I've got the scan set up in the software already. I'm going to do it as an orthodontic scan and as an unsectioned, and I've selected triple tray for the occlusion type. So we'll go ahead and press scan. And then I'm going to, just like with the all-in-one, I'm going to line up that notch of the scan jig, and I'm going to put that in line with the notch on the height adapter. So we've got the impression on there, and I'm going to go ahead and start the scan. So a few helpful tips for scanning triple trays. Sometimes the impressions can have a lot of undercuts that can be really hard for the light of the scanner to penetrate into. So it's always a good idea to trim the rim around the impression first, just above the CEJ area. And then also it's very helpful to use a scan spray like what I have applied here in the video. So that's going to help with any reflections that's pretty common for PVS impression material. So as you can see on the screen here, the scanner's done a really good job of picking up all of that data of the impression. And we can take a closer look. So there are a few areas here in the incisal where there might be some holes. So we can use the Intelligent Add Scan feature to select those spots and help the scanner capture those areas down in there. So I'm going to select those, and then I'll go ahead and press Add Scan. So the scanner knows exactly where to go when you select it like this, and it will recapture the data specifically in that spot. So once we have those holes filled in, we can go ahead and flip it over and move on to the lower scan. Alright, so we're gonna hit finish, and then we are going to remove this from here, and we're just going to flip it over. I don't want to unclip this at all. You want this to stay really stable in this little clip because that's going to help the scanner align the occlusal surface. So we're just going to flip it just like that, and I'm going to put it right back on how it was, and then we'll go ahead and start that scan. So scanning the triple tray data is really useful in kind of avoiding the step of having to pour a model that can be really cumbersome, really messy, and can also sometimes be inaccurate if you're not able to control for all of the factors that go into creating a solid model. So being able to scan the impression is a really great feature, and it's very helpful. It can also be performed in the dental office to have an extra way to create a digital impression out of an analog product. So now we've got the lower scan data here, and we'll approve that, and then the software will automatically align the upper scan data with the lower scan data and create an impression. So it's going to turn the impression data, take a negative of that and turn it into a positive, so to speak. So it's basically creating a digital model out of the impression. So the impression data does take a little bit longer to process. So if you were following along on the screen, you might have noticed that the upper jaw was processing during the time that we were scanning the lower jaw. And so now the lower jaw is processing. So for the impression scan data specifically, the scanner captures a lot more frames or a lot more scans of the data. So it is a little bit of a larger file to process. A little bit more data than a traditional impression would be, or a poured model scan. So it looks like we're almost finished processing here. Okay, wonderful. So that's completed. So now the lower data will come in just a second, and we'll be able to merge the two. While we're waiting on that though, we can also trim the upper impression data. So we'll go ahead and use the edit feature to do that. And then I'm gonna use the lasso tool to create an outline here. So I'm drawing around here, and then I'm gonna kind of do a circle around the teeth, like so. And you'll notice that the teeth are highlighted. So whatever's highlighted gets deleted, so we don't want to delete the teeth. So I'm going to use the reverse selection tool to reverse that. So now it will delete everything except for the teeth. So we'll go ahead and click delete there, and then there's a little bit more here that I'm also going to trim, so I'll just capture that right there. And we'll get that part out of the scan. All right, so we'll go ahead and delete that part, and then we can approve that. All right. So now we can go on, we can go to the lower impression scan now that it's finished processing, and we can go ahead and use the edit tool in the same way to remove the excess data on the lower impression scan. So I'm just going to draw a circle around the teeth. Nice big circle here, just following the arch, just like so, and then we'll reverse the selection and click the delete button, and then we can confirm and save that data. And we've got a little bit more up there to trim, so I'll get that to the side. Just like so. All right, so now we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the impression alignment. And you can see that it has automatically used the data of the triple tray to align the two arches together. So now we have a perfect impression of the upper and lower. So we'll go ahead and click Finish. And then we'll move on to the pre-design phase. In the pre-design phase, there's some really cool tools. One of them that can be helpful for impressions is the Fill Hole tool. So we'll go ahead and use that, and that'll close up any of these little holes that we have here in the data. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this to 100%, and we'll click OK. And now those holes will be filled in solid, and you've got a model that is all ready to send. So this is what the finished scan looks like. All right. So now we're all ready to send this off to a lab or get it processed into CAD design software. So that's it for the triple tray impression scan. Last, I'm going to be showing you the texture scan feature of the DS-EX Pro H. So we'll go ahead and create a new order. So this type of scan will most often be used with a partial denture case. So I'm going to go ahead and set the scan up in that manner. So we're going to select partial denture, and I'll select our cuspids here, and then we'll go ahead and click Finish. So this one doesn't have an opposing either, so we're just going to be scanning the upper model. So we are all set here. The occlusion is set to none, which is what we want, and it's an unsectioned model. So I'll go ahead and hit scan. So on this model here, we've got some pencil marks as well as some other marks here. We've got some Sharpie ink and also some different color pen ink. So we're going to go ahead and scan this, and you'll be able to see really clearly how the markings on the model will show up on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and start the scan. And when it captures the texture scan, if you look closely, you'll notice that some other colors of light will be emitted from the scanner. This is normal. So with all other scans, it's going to scan with primarily blue light, but when you scan in texture, you will see some other colors flash from the scanner. So on the screen here, you can see the model kind of looks a little bit pink. We'll go ahead and trim that up and click Finish, and then you'll be able to see the texture detail really, really clearly. So it's pretty impressive there. You can see the pencil marks show up really well. You can also see the Sharpie, as well as we've got a green ink here and a blue ink there. So it's really cool that you can use more than just pencil, and you can really see how that texture gets carried over into the software. So that's going to be it for the texture scan. So we'll go ahead and finish that up, and we can go on to pre-design and sending that case off. So that's it for the texture scan. Thanks so much for watching the webinar. I hope you learned a lot, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Emily. Hope you all have a better understanding about this great product. Currently, we're running a trade-in program that you can use to have this brand new scanner with a favorable price. You can contact us or our local partner for details. Thanks again for your attention, and please keep following us for the latest news as always. See you next time.